Welcome to HB Reddit Stories. Today we will see stories of r/am I the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for playing favorites with my grandkids and when confronted by my daughter-in-law telling her that is due to her? This post is about my son and Amy, my daughter-in-law. They have been married for about 10 years and have 2 kids. They are 10 and 6. At the beginning I really tried to get along with her, but she made it difficult. She is not very sociable and always put her own mom overseeing her husband's side of the family. This is really apparent with holidays and the kids. She always shows us to go to her mom's for holiday, even if I do it on an early day or late day. If I offer to babysit, she always tells me she asked her mom or she would get back to me. The time I do babysit or get to hang out with the grandkids, she is criticizing everything I do, usually saying that not how her mom or how she does it. At the beginning my son was trying to fix this, but gave up. We see him separately from his wife and kids. I truly don't understand it, and I have asked if I did anything wrong, but no answer on that. I gave up trying when my other son had kids. It is so much better, and I have a great relationship with my other daughter-in-law and the kids. The kids are 9, Ava my step-granddaughter, and 4, grandson. I gave my Ava a family necklaces, that was my mother's. She loves it and has been wearing it everywhere according to my son. That also includes school, which started this issue. My daughter-in-law called me up and asked why Ava got a family necklace but her daughter, 10, didn't get one. I told her I just wanted to give it to Ava. She got angry and told me I was playing favorite and that her daughter is older so she should have gotten the necklace. I told her that yes, I am playing favorites and it is due to her. I pointed out that I do not know her daughter because of her. That her kids will not be getting any of my family stuff because of her. This was a huge argument and she called some a jerk and wanted me to give her kid a necklace. I am doubting myself on this. Top comments. Not the a-hole. What does she want you to do? Sue for grandparents' visitation rights. Oh wait, she wants to keep her kids away from you, but have you give them stuff? Yeah, pass. I'd maybe talk to your son and say that you find it hurtful when his wife keeps the grands from you but also demands gifts. For the daughter-in-law, I'd just ignore the greedy bits and respond to each gift grab with something like, well, it certainly would be nice to see the kids more, do let me know when they're free to visit. Not the a-hole. It's difficult, but the conversation needs to be steered toward the amount of quality time you're able to spend with your grandkids. She's putting the focus on the gifts that were given when that's the least important part of the relationship. I wouldn't discuss with Amy about why her daughter isn't getting a necklace. She'll try to poke holes in the argument, come up with counter-arguments, and spend way too much time on that point. The conversation should focus on why you're not able to see your grandkids for the holidays, why you can't babysit them, why you can't spend more time with them. Hopefully that necklace is causing your granddaughter to pressure Amy about seeing you more, even if it's for slightly jealous reasons. And now is a great time for your son to start trying to fix this again. Amy seems to have a renewed interest. Not the a-hole. Never let someone mistreat you then demand your stuff. While all are your grandkids, daughter-in-law has prevented you from developing a relationship with her kids. Heirlooms are distributed based on relationships, not just genealogy. Your step-GD loves and appreciates your gift. That's all that matters. Don't let her make you feel bad. Family is a relationship. She is the one has chosen to stay in the related category. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my dad he made a dumb decision and I don't need to fix it for him? My mom died when I, 16M, was 5. I remember her, just not amazingly well. When I was 7 my dad started dating again and met Mara. At first I was upset about Mara and my dad dating and didn't want to meet her and gave her a hard time. I told her I didn't want her replacing my mom. She gave me space to let out all my feelings at her and then she reassured me she was not here to take mom's place. She told me she really liked my dad and wanted to really like me too, but she didn't have to be my mom for us to like each other. At first I wasn't sure if I believed her. But she won me over and we got along really well. She even lived with us for a year. But when I was 10 dad broke up with Mara and said she wasn't trying hard enough to fill the role of mom for me and I needed a mom. I told him I didn't want another mom and I loved Mara. That she was the best. Mara was blindsided by it because things had been so good and I don't think my dad had said it would be a deal breaker. Within a few months he met his wife, Stacy. Stacy was a single mom with a 2-year-old daughter. I was 11 by then. Stacy was very on board to be my new mom and I was not. I said it so many times I didn't want a new mom, I wouldn't call someone else mom, I missed Mara and wouldn't give Stacy a chance if she tried to take over mom's place. I was ignored and Dad and Stacy got married when I was 12. After my 16th birthday, which was June, my dad kinda realized I was serious about not wanting a mom and not giving Stacy a chance to be my mom. She has tried so hard too. She has tried to make me love her and her daughter. But I'm not here to get a new mom. I'm not open to it, something Dad now knows. It's caused a lot of strain with him and Stacy because Stacy found out I had DM'd Mara recently and apologized for Dad and thanked her for being awesome and saying I miss her. Stacy said she can't even get me to say I like her. I told her it's because I don't. That I don't like people who don't listen or who think they can make me do things like let them be my new mom. Stacy said she was expecting/promised a family for her daughter. Not this. Dad pulled me aside a few nights ago and told me he now realizes I was serious about the things I said and he realizes I loved Mara. But that he really wanted the best for me and someone who wouldn't even try to be my mom, wasn't it? He told me Stacy would be such a good second mom to me and I could have a sister, if I give this a chance. He said his marriage could end if we can't pull together as a family. I told him he made a dumb decision and I wouldn't fix it for him. I said it was fine if Mara just wasn't the one for him or if their relationship changed. But I loved her because she wasn't my mom. She was someone I could trust and love as Mara. And that my dislike of Stacy wasn't changing and neither was my unwillingness to get a new mom. Dad told me I don't get to speak to him like that. That I was out of line. Am I the a-hole? Top comments. Not the a-hole. You have consistently told your dad over the years that you did not want a new mother. And he has consistently, including now, ignored what you had to say. He's the one who screwed up, not you. Sounds like he made promises to Stacy that he expected you to keep for him. That's all on him. And you're right, it's not up to you to fix it. Opie replies. That's exactly how it sounds to me too. He didn't believe me. So he promised her this traditional family with the 4 of us, where she'd get to be a mom to me and I'd be a son to her and a brother to her daughter. At no point did he consider even for a second that I wasn't lying about not wanting a new mom. Took him this long to figure it out. Why the heck is Stacy telling you she was promised a family for her daughter? Why is she putting that on you? You didn't promise her anything and you're not responsible for making a family for her. That's really not okay. This is all on your dad. Not the a-hole. Opie replies. It's either to make me feel bad or she thinks my dad can make promises for me that I need to keep. Next story. Am I the a-hole for asking another mom if I could help with her daughter's hair? My daughter, 9, recently made a new friend. The friend is adopted, she's black and her parents are white. We've had her around our house a lot the last few months and we've noticed that her parents don't really know how to look after her hair. I'm white and my husband is mixed. His black grandmother lives with us and she has pointed out the girl's hair and even tried to give her some haircare advice. I decided to bring up with the mom about her daughter's hair and that my husband's grandma was happy to give some advice or even wash/detangle and braid her hair. The mom was really upset that I would suggest she couldn't take care of her daughter properly and that I was overstepping boundaries. I told her that my grandma-in-law just wanted to help her daughter. She told me I was being rude and undermining her parenting. She also told me I wasn't the first person to bring this up. I'm worried now because I really didn't think she would react like that. I'm worried I've ruined my daughter's new friendship. I understand why she's upset at thinking I'm trying to suggest she's not looking after her daughter properly. On the other hand, it's 2024. There is so much information out there to help her with her daughter's hair, plus we live near a big city where there is loads of salons she could take her daughter to. Am I the a-hole for bringing this up? I feel bad about how things transpired. Top comments. Not the a-hole, assuming the suggestion was given in relative private and not like, at a mom's group in front of 15 people. That woman needs to learn to love her daughter more than her pride. Her daughter's hair is different than hers and it requires different skills and tools to care for. I am roughly 100% certain that if she walked into any black salon, don't be weird about this comment y'all, you know what I mean, or beauty shop, the people in it would love to help her and her daughter. Hedging on not the a-hole, but info. What, exactly, did you say to her? She said you're not the only one/first one to bring it up, which does show she isn't taking care of this little girl's hair properly. And you are correct, there is a wealth of knowledge out there for free at her fingertips should she just look for it. I'd hate to see this little girl's hair be left to tangle if not cared for. Opie replies. Initially I said something along the lines of, hey, my husband's grandma was wondering if she could do a little hair care for your daughter and she'd love to braid her hair. I can't remember what she brought up first, but at some point she asked me why I was asking and I said it seems like you might need some help taking care of it. When she was completely against the idea, I continued to say that grandma would be happy to just give advice, which was when I realized she was offended I'd even asked. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife to take time off work if she wants time for herself? My wife, 40F, and I, 39M, have been married for 12 years and have 2 kids, 9 and 7. We both work full-time, but I have got promoted about 3 months ago that required a change to my work hours. I used to have the same standard Monday to Friday hours as my wife. But my new role has me working 10-hour shifts Thursday through Sunday. This promotion came with a pretty substantial pay raise as well. My wife and I discussed how my change in hours would affect our family's day-to-day lives, but we both agreed it would be worth it for the additional income. I use my time off on Monday through Wednesday to do pretty much all the family shopping, errands, cleaning, laundry, and have even been able to make substantial progress on some long put-off home projects. I also cook dinners and prep weekly lunches for the kids and my wife. The additional income is becoming noticeable as well as we haven't had this much in our savings account in years. A few weeks ago, my wife started griping about my new job. She hates that I am working all weekend because that means she's with the kids the whole time. She complains that she goes from working all week to solo parenting on weekends. Both our kids are in activities on weekends, so she has been doing that by herself as well. We talked about ways to ease some of the weekend stuff from her, such as getting a babysitter, carpooling to kids' activities, taking the kids to their grandparents, etc. But she still complains that all of the legwork for those things will be done by her because I'm at work. She said she feels like she never has any time for herself since my hours got changed. To try and alleviate this, I suggested that she make plans with friends to do something on Monday or Tuesday nights. She tried but got frustrated when her friends were busy those nights and wanted to get together on weekends. This led to another argument with her telling me that she hates my new job and that I need to look into changing my hours again. I told her that I have been trying everything to help ease the transition with my new job, but all I've been met with is hostility and frustration. I asked her if there was anything more I could do other than change my hours and she told me no. She said she just hates that she doesn't get a break and that I have 3 days to myself. I started listing off all the ways I have been trying to make this easier and how much more money we are making, and she cut me off and said the money isn't worth it. I got frustrated and told her if she needs time for herself, she should just use vacation time from work if she's not going to be reasonable and help me find a compromise. She got even more mad and told me I am being an a-hole. She made me sleep in the guest room and told me that I can't come back to our bed unless I fix this. Top comments. Info. Do you actually need the extra money, or is it more in the category of nice to have? Also, which one of your jobs pays more? And which paid more before this change? I'll also point out that it's not just that she's solo parenting, but that now you don't get any time to spend as a family and go on family outings. Opie replies. The extra money is in the category of maybe now our kids won't have to take out loans for college and we can actually retire at 65. My job pays more. It did before the change and it pays much more after my promotion. As a first step, you could try validating her. You're right, you aren't getting much of a breather with me gone on the weekends. You work hard at work and at home, you deserve a break too. Her using vacation days is not a long-term solution to this issue. If you disagree, why don't you take a vacation day and take over Saturday kid activity duties so she can have some downtime? No a-hole here. Your family is in a state of transition and it's hard. Honestly, your wife has it harder than you, and she's telling you she needs more support. You can make this better by providing her with the support she needs, and taking care if it's so she doesn't have to. I'd suggest using some of that extra income to hire a nanny for 1 weekend day per week and 1 to 2 weeknights/month, for a date night. Use the weekend day, like a 8 to 1400 hours, with the nanny for extra parenting support, carpooling to activities, taking care of errands that need doing, etc. To give your wife extra support on those long solo parenting weekends. Then, use the 1 to 2 weeknights, after work, like 18 to 2300 hours, to either do regular date nights, or to use those nights for solo fun activities, friends dinner, etc. Couples counseling would also be good. You should take on the seeking, hiring, interviewing, etc. of the nanny, and establish regular care so that your wife can just rely on that support. I think the work that you're doing in the household on your days off is great, but the opportunity one sees is for you to take on more of the parenting duties in a way that gives your wife back some bandwidth for other things she might have been using her weekends for, outside of the kids. You are the a-hole for an obscene lack of sympathy for your wife. She's on 7 days a week either with work and/or the kids. You get 3 days off every week where you can do your own stuff at your own pace, and no days where you are responsible for the kids all day. And there's probably a lack of quality time as a couple. I don't know what the solution is, there might not be one that ticks every box, but this one ain't it. Okay, I'm the first to say how your spouse feels and the mental/emotional/physical load division is so important in a relationship. That being said, it sounds like you do a lot to set your family up for success on your days off. It does also sound like your wife is deeply overwhelmed. Are you able to help her in finding solutions for the weekends that would give her a day off or some flexibility here? When I was feeling deeply overwhelmed, my husband protected time for me to do something for myself, but I was so deep into burnout and overwhelmed that the idea of coming up with something else to do during that me time made me cry. In order for you both to earn this extra money, she essentially gets no days off. Can you take on the responsibility of hiring out or ensuring she gets a day off and some time to herself? You are the a-hole. Why haven't you used your Monday through Wednesday to schedule a sitter already? Your wife essentially gets 0 time at home without the kids, and 2 days alone with them. You get 3 school days worth of solo time, so stop discussing hiring a sitter and do it. You sound like a very involved dad, but a lot of involved dads still wait around for mom to organize things, and while that may have worked when you were working the same hours, you need to take some of the mental load if you aren't already. She has to get the kids ready for all their activities on the weekend, so it should be on you to arrange the carpooling, schedule the sitter and grandparent visits, sign them up for their activities, etc. Next story. Am I the a-hole for sending most of my extended family an email stating why they are never invited to things anymore? I, 36F, made the not so difficult decision to no longer invite my extended family to dinner, parties, school events for my kids, etc. The one exception is my nephew Jamie, 18. He is my elder sister's eldest. He moved in with my husband and myself for a while before he turned 18 to get away from his parents and younger brother, 17. Some context/BG. When Jamie was born, his parents genuinely seemed to love him. And they appeared, to a younger me, to be good parents. That changed as soon as his younger brother was born. Suddenly my sister and brother-in-law talked about Jamie as a nightmare, said he was an awful baby, they hated every moment with him, and his younger brother was an angel and perfect. This attitude continued. Jamie wasn't a misbehaving kid or feral like he was described, but he ran around, got dirty, made noise and messes like most little kids. But this was treated like something awful. His younger brother was quiet, neat, etc., etc. They would always compare Jamie to his brother to shame him into being different. If he spilled something, they'd scold him. If he got messy, they'd reprimand him harshly for it. The rest of my extended family started acting the same. Jamie couldn't do anything right. He sneezed, it was too loud. He fell, he was being reckless/careless. And the praise for his bother was insane. Like, yeah, he was a quieter and calmer kid, but Jamie wasn't destroying things or stealing, yelling, cursing, etc. Even having too much fun got Jamie negative attention, and I was told to shut up whenever I defend him or tell people to lay off. I took it upon myself to be there for Jamie as much as I could. The older the boys got, the harder it got, because Jamie also had his brother trying to get him into trouble or berating him for things. I hated seeing it, but I knew I needed to be there for Jamie, and avoiding it would do no good. Nobody showed up for Jamie except for me. I was often the only family member, except for when I married and had kids, who made an appearance at school plays and the likes. When Jamie moved in with us, and got his freedom, I decided it was time to do the same. My family kept asking me about coming over and when were my kids' things. Nobody asked about Jamie. Or they'd want to know about parties for the kids. I let it all pile up, and then I decided to send an email to the extended family outlining how disgusting their behavior toward Jamie had been and how that meant they would no longer receive any invitations from me. I got a lot of negativity back, with people saying I shouldn't take his side when he's a bratty little crap who deserved everything he got. I don't regret defending Jamie, but did I handle this badly? Am I the a-hole? Top comments. Not the a-hole. OP, reading how you've been there for Jamie made me tear up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You owe no one access to your children. And you don't owe anyone an explanation to begin with. But, in any case, there's nothing wrong with the way you communicated your feelings and limits to your family. Mass email is actually a good way to do it. Put it in writing, send it one time to everyone so there's no misinformation from multiple versions of different one-on-one conversations. You don't owe anyone a response, especially if they are just justifying their terrible Jamie treatment and arguing about that with you. The only two things I would say is that, yes, it's good you've taken this decision because of how they treated Jamie, but I would carefully consider having these people around your children. You know that they scapegoat children and then all gang up on them. What if one of your children ended up the next Jamie, as he's aging out of this terrible dynamic? It's completely fine to do what you did just for Jamie, but even if they apologize or make amends to him, I'd still be very wary about having them around children generally. Last thing, did you tell Jamie you were going to do this, and was he okay with it? Because you did it, in his defense, I would make a point to talk to him ASAP, especially if he is going to receive the brunt of any blowback. Please make sure that he is okay and is not being harassed for your decision, or that they are not pressuring him to get you to change your mind. Not talking to him first does not make you an a-hole, but if you didn't, I would suggest apologizing to him for not giving him a heads up and making sure he's okay emotionally. This could be emotional/triggering to him to have his mistreatment all laid out in the open. OP replies. Jamie was aware beforehand and actually helped me write out parts of the email. He told me I didn't have to do it, but he was also really relieved. I could tell from the expression. We already got him a new phone number, and he deleted old social media and created new ones they aren't on. So he's protected and they have no idea where he currently is, which is really, really good for him. He's come so far in the months since he moved out. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share and subscribe the channel HB Reddit Stories.